All right, everyone, welcome back. We are in the booth with another player spotlight, not sponsor spotlight. Mr. Tom LeMere, thank you for joining me. Dumbest question I'm going to ask the entire time in here. How do you feel? How do you feel like you're playing tonight?
I tend not to over practice before I shoot. I like to be just as surprised as the next guy at how bad I play. Um,
Wait, I have something for that.
yeah. Um, when I do practice, I'm not so much worried about making balls. I'm just trying to feel the speed a little bit, and I'll dial in as it goes, or at least try to. Um, I have my own expectations, and I just try to meet them best I can and hope for the best.
Okay. Are there expectations tonight, or
Not to sound generic, but making the final eight in this, I kind of feel like even if it ends tonight, I already won. Um,
wow, what a great attitude!
you know a little bit of my background. I have had a lot of health concerns this last couple of years, and especially in the last 6 months. A little bit of I found out I had kidney failure 2 years ago. At the beginning of this year, I lost about 50% of the vision in my left eye. And at the end of February, I lost half of my left foot, which is still healing. So me and Dan kind of touched on it a little bit. He had a heart attack last year.
6 months ago. Yeah, we were
Yep.
just talking about that. Yeah.
Just that we're out here is a win. Guys like us, we love the game and we're happy to be able to do it. But it's tough to get back on it when something's trying to hold you back, and we're out here doing it. And that's the main thing.
That's one of the things that I absolutely love about doing these player spotlights is that what you just said. People don't realize everybody's going through something in their life where pool is not the most important thing, whether it's family or health or whatever the case may be. There's something that as professionals, they do it for a living. We do this for fun.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you saying that.
Well, 4 years ago when I was playing a lot and I could shoot a couple hundred racks a week, I had confidence in my game. It was strong. I knew how I was going to perform every time I went out. Now, you don't know how you're going to feel when you wake up in the morning. And, it takes a lot away from the game. You like to think that you have it in your back pocket when you need it. But, you just go out and hope for the best and keep a positive attitude and meet a lot of great people along the way.
Yeah, and you're one of them.
Oh, thank you.
Let's talk about who is Tom LeMere.
Yeah, I am 41 years old. I worked in the mills for about 19 years. I did a couple of years of sales following that. I started shooting pool when I was roughly 7 years old. My parents were kind of bar people, and you get bored as a kid. My mom was a very accomplished pool shooter up in our area. She had been top shooter in the men's league up there and her teams had won many of the women's leagues up there. That's kind of who got me into it, and then just picked up what I could along the way. There's a couple guys up north that were the driving force between us starting to play BCA. One of them, who's a name that you'll know, is JJ Mady.
Yeah, absolutely.
JJ Mady is, like I say, a driving force in getting young people in our area into the game. He's the person who got me a Fargo, and him, myself, a gentleman by the name of Brandon View. We do everything we can up in Oconto County to keep pool going and get the young people in, because we got a dying sport, and we need the young people and we need the older guys like myself to kind of take them under our wing, even though we're maybe not the best players, to just help them with fundamentals and keep them positive to the game, that just because you lose doesn't mean you did bad.
It's the only way it's going to grow.
Yep. That's really a big
And you're
thing.
not old. You're 41, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, but I've been playing a long time,
Us pool players age
Yeah,
not very
a
well.
little bit differently
Yeah,
than
sure.
most. But no, JJ got me into the Fargo scene probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and that's when I realized that just because you're good in a bar league in Oconto County doesn't mean that you're good. I came down here, my very first tournament, I shot a round robin. I shot 42 games of pool that day, and I won 11. and I realized, oh man, I got a lot of work to do. And I hit the table
It's a
and
little
started
different on a
playing more.
diamond.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am a notorious diamond hater. Um, my nickname for a little while was Valley Tom LeMere because the
I
diamond
like it.
purists just they kill me. If it's not perfect, they don't know how to play. It's not like the tables we grew up on 30 years ago where you had to know where the river was so you could play the role.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know,
So your favorite game is 10 ball?
yeah,
Any particular reason, or you're just a rotation player?
it puts me in a different mindset. Um, if you watch my last match, you notice that once I got a lead in 9 ball, I started just being a ball banger. Um, 10 ball keeps you dialed in that you can't just do that. It's fun to play fast and loose, but 10 ball you've got to have a long-term strategy, and that's kind of I think keeps me a little more grounded when I play.
So out of your 3 matches, Coleman, Harold, and then Marshall Williams, which one of those matches stands out most to you, or is there anything in particular that happened in the KO challenge that stands out?
So me and Coleman, we'd met the very first tournament I played here. Incredibly nice guy. We had a nice, easygoing match, but it was tough. I won the 8 ball. He won the 9 ball.
Now this was on Matt Apple stream, right?
Yes, this was
Yeah,
on the open stream.
yeah.
We went 3-3 and 10 ball, and we went to a shootout. And I made the first 3. He made the first 3. We went to sudden death. I made my 4th shot, and he missed. And that was, I don't get nervous, but that was pressure. And, to make 7 10 balls in a row between the two of us, that was tough. Uh, Harold's match, the second match I shot, um, there wasn't too much that stood out with that. I didn't play terrific. Luckily, Harold probably didn't bring his A game. He shot well, another incredibly nice guy. And then Marshall. Me and Marshall have a long history. We have gambled against each other a lot. During the pandemic, he would come up to my house and play in my living room.
No kidding.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
He came up and played some Scotch doubles. I came down here a handful of times. He came up by me a handful of times. When I say there's at least $1,000 that went back and forth between the two of us, I'm not exaggerating. Probably more. To have him come out and not play his top game was I wanted to see him do well because he's a friend of mine. We only know each other through pool. It was unfortunate that he just didn't have it that night because that match should be a coin flip all day long. He works hard at his game. He's a good player, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't there that night. And I got very fortunate because it let me move on.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up, Tom, because Marshall and I have a little bit of history as well. So his old pool table is the one that got
Yep.
donated to the Blandine House in Fond du Lac.
Yep, I remember that.
So he and I took it over there together, and it's one of those things where you really get to know somebody. And Marshall's such a good guy. I got to meet his wife and kids and everything else there. Plus, he plays league here and everything. But what a nice guy. And I'm never. I'm not a biased commentator. Well, sometimes. If I really don't like you, then I'm going to cheer for the other guy.
I was going to say, I was playing the hometown favorite that night. Cause,
you were.
But-
And the history that Marshall and I have and everything, I would have loved to have seen him go all the way to the end.
absolutely.
But you are 100% correct. He just didn't have it that night, and it happens.
And we jinxed ourselves because the week before the redraw, we were messaging back and forth about how we wanted to play each other in the final. And I think more times than not, you jinx yourself.
Yep.
But no, it just, I felt bad because he's a great guy. I showed up early that day, and we sat here and we played cribbage.
Yeah.
And we watched the other match. And that's Marshall. Like, you can just hang out, and it's effortless to have a good time.
Yeah. That's Marshall for you.
Yeah.
So I hope he's watching you tonight.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
I hope so, too. Yeah.
So tonight's match, is there anything that you do in particular for mental preparation or practice preparation prior to the first rack?
No, The first match I played against Coleman, I went by myself and I was able to stay dialed in. My second match, I brought a buddy with me and we kind of went back and forth a little bit. And I realized that having somebody right there to talk to, you think would keep you relaxed, but it doesn't. It pulls you out.
It does. It pulls you away from the mental side of the game.
Yep. And tonight I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna shoot my game, have a memory like a goldfish. If I miss, I'm going to get rid of it. And
Me and Chris will make faces at you then from the booth.
Hey, I got
keep you laughing.
I got bad eyes. I can't see in here. And then when my opportunities come, I'm going to pop out of that chair like it's, the first day. So, yeah, I just I don't get too worried.
Good.
I don't get too nervous,
I wish you the best of luck in tonight's match, Tom. And it truly has been. It's been a pleasure having you in the tournament, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you as well. So
yeah,
thank you.
We got a lot of great people in this tournament, so I'm excited to meet Dan.
You bet.
He seems like a great guy, and I appreciate what you're doing for pool. And let's keep it going. We got to keep pool in Wisconsin going.
I will.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, real good.